It's called the Home of Champions, home of the best marksmen, instructors, and gunsmiths in the world, and the largest state-of-the-art range facilities in the country. The United States Army Marksmanship Unit at Fort Benning has long been the host ranges for collegiate shooting championships. But never before so many shooting disciplines at the same time. We've got Jay Gilmore covering all the matches in a busy week at Fort Benning.
Jim, this event features hundreds of colleges, universities, and junior shooters from all across the country. The NRA is hosting pistol and rifle championships, but it's not just the NRA. The Scholastic Clay Target Program and Scholastic Steel Challenge are also a part of this unprecedented week at Fort Benning. The Army Strong Collegiate Shooting Championships are an action-packed week at Fort Benning. It's 4 championships taking place at once, with junior shooters competing in the different disciplines as well. The Scholastic Clay Target Program showcases youngsters shooting clay and skeet.
This is the 2012 SCTP Challenge. It's the first annual, and what we're trying to do is expose a lot of the kids that are in the SCTP that shoot the American-style shotgun sports to the Olympic-style shotgun sports.
A couple of those competing are from Columbia, Tennessee, Nelson Rainey and Hannah Houston. These are 2 junior shooters with the drive to compete at a high level, and they're already in love with the challenges the sport brings.
My first found skeet was really fun. I went to the state and won the first place, and that was just too boring. So I moved on to the more complicated stuff.
I just love the feel of it. I love the people out here, and I love having a gun in my hands, and it's challenging. It's very challenging, and it takes years to perfect, so I like the challenge.
The U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit is also hosting the Scholastic Steel Challenge program. There are 9 collegiate teams competing against each other at the Home of Champions.
When you shoot on my range, and when you shoot on the Home of Champions, in your mind, you have to expect to win.
The challenge is landing hits on 5 steel targets as fast as possible. Shooters are using 9mm ammunition, and the time is scored in hundredths of a second. There are 4 different stages of Scholastic Steel Challenge shooting, each stage with the 5 steel targets set up in different formations.
Ever since it came online, it's been a great venue to get juniors and others involved in pistol shooting sports. It's simple to set up, doesn't take up a lot of real estate. USPSA has been great in getting good sponsorship for it so that it's inexpensive for the clubs and it's inexpensive for the competitors, and it's opened up pistol shooting to a whole new segment of our youth.
The National Rifle Association is responsible for 2 championships at Fort Benning. The base's Olympic-style complex proves to be an ideal venue for the shooters to compete. The Intercollegiate Rifle Club Championships consist of air rifle and small bore rifle matches. For the first time in history, the NRA is putting on its Intercollegiate Pistol and Rifle Club Championships at the same time.
They're doing so much. It's really quite incredible how they're going out of their way to facilitate junior shooting, collegiate shooting, and even from there feed into the Olympic programs. It's very cool what they're doing in terms of education, facilitation, and educating the younger generation about our Second Amendment rights.
Heather isn't just any female shooter on the line, she's a West Point cadet. She's grateful the NRA is doing a great job of facilitating mixed gender matches because the Olympic Committee has gender-separated matches. She's also thankful to her parents for getting her involved in the sport.
I guess the thing that initially got me into the sport was I saw my parents doing a concealed carry training. I was like, oh my goodness, my parents are superheroes, they have guns, they're so cool. I think my parents decided I needed to have an education in gun safety, so I wasn't too curious, get into some trouble, and I had a knack for it.
The Intercollegiate Pistol Championships include sport pistol, free pistol, air pistol, and standard pistol. Standard pistol is shot using .22 rimfire from 25 meters away. The course of fire is 4 series of 5 shots fired within 150 seconds per series. Another 4 series of 5 shots within 20 seconds per series, and a final 4 series of 5 shots within 10 seconds per series. Most of the shooters shoot paper targets on their home ranges. With USAMU as the host, their Olympic scoring system elevates the championships.
So coming here, it's very, very new and exciting because it's instant gratification. You know exactly what you shot. You don't have to call the line, walk down and look at your target.
When they fire their shot, it appears on the monitor exactly where they hit. The way this is done with the SUS system is there are 4 microphones in each corner of the target box. Once it hears the bullet go through the rubber, the other 3 microphones triangulate and immediately send it back to the shooter to tell him where they shot.
Air pistol is shot using pellets from 10 meters away. The course of fire is an endurance challenge for the precision shooter. It's 60 shots fired within an hour and 45 minutes. 10.6 is the highest score a shooter can register, and the 10 ring is smaller than the pellet. Nick Maurer from Pikes Peak Community College is this year's top pistol shooter. His victory gives him 4 championships in the last 5 years.
It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, of course. That's really what it comes down to. Time spent equals results made.
With the Army Strong Collegiate Championships wrapping up, the dynamic format is a huge success. It's the largest multidiscipline, shoulder-to-shoulder collegiate and junior shooting sports championships to ever take place in the U.S. Hundreds of shooters, 4 championships, and a perfect fit at Fort Benning.
I live for shooting, so this is great stuff. I'm glad I could be here. I'm glad I could take a team out here to come and do this.
It's not like it's better than all the other matches, just it's more well-rounded, I guess you might say. And I really enjoy it. I'm pretty sad that I'm not going to be able to come back and attend next year and the year after that, you know. But it's been my favorite.
Nick Maurer won the individual pistol championship, while Navy won the team aggregate. But in rifle competition, it was all Michigan State. Amos Peck won the top honor on the individual side, and his Michigan State Spartans, they won their team aggregate. Altogether, this was an awesome collection of young shooting talent at Fort Benning. Jim?
Thanks, Jay. Indeed, it was a collection of young talent. And that's one reason USAMU was the host, to scout for the future. Coming up, the Army demonstration that could lead to new shooters joining the Army team. Shooting USA is brought to you by Smith & Wesson, safety, security, protection, and sport. And by Blackhawk, honor as a way of life. And by Ithaca Gun Company, an American tradition. Where is your gun made? Not only are the competitors at Fort Benning shooting on some of the finest ranges in the world, but they're also learning about the Army. And in the case of what could be recruiting for the future for the Army Marksmanship Unit, it's always persuasive to see the tools the Army brings to the battlefield. It's a demonstration the airgun and rimfire shooters won't soon forget. As the hundreds of shooters gather at Fort Benning, the Collegiate Shooting Championships are just part of the draw. The U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit is hosting the 4 championships with a keen eye on future champions.
When any competitor comes to the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, whether it's a soldier participating in the U.S. Army Small Arms Championships or it's a collegiate athlete coming to the Army Strong Collegiate Shooting Championships, I guarantee you we're looking at future talent that we can bring to this organization.
What makes the week unique and a championship unlike any other is it incorporates the Army Strong experience, capability demonstrations from units based at Fort Benning. The collegiate shooting team members have opportunities to witness hands-on training exercises, giving those in attendance a glimpse of what it means to be Army Strong.
To be Army Strong, it's going above and beyond what you thought was possible. It's going above and beyond who you thought you could be and aspiring to those dreams and then ultimately reaching them.
The Army does a great job of wowing potential recruits They bring out some of the finest mechanized forces in the world for a detailed show and tell. They start the demonstrations with the Hot X demo, an up-close and personal look at the M2A3, the Army's most advanced Bradley, the 8-wheel Stryker vehicles, and the M1A2 Abrams heavy battle tank. After the crews describe the different features of the vehicles, then it's a battlefield demonstration of the firepower with the 50 caliber M2 machine gun, the 120 millimeter mortar, and the Bradley's 25 millimeter chain gun. Then for competitors skilled in air gun and rimfire shooting, a chance to try something a bit larger. The semi-auto Barrett 50 caliber long-range sniper rifle.
The Barrett was a lot of fun. There was a good amount of kickback, not horrible, but it was a lot of fun getting behind that.
A little different than what you're used to, huh?
A lot different, but it's all good fun.
It was very interesting. I was very hesitant when I went to shoot it. I wasn't even gonna shoot it. And then Dylan talked me into doing it. And I was afraid I was gonna get knocked on my butt, but I didn't. And there really wasn't any pain. It just kicks you back.
And there are more Army skills to see and experience. The U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit put on a steel challenge and shotgun demo from their top shooters, including Staff Sergeant Josh Richmond, their 2012 Olympic nominee.
Whether I'm wearing the ACU uniform or the USA shooting uniform, it's red, white, and blue. We do it for the country, we do it for the Army, and both jobs are very similar in that respect, but it's a great honor for me to be able to wear my country's colors, my Army's uniform.
The shotgun demo is another hands-on demonstration. Sergeant Richmond makes sure of it. He's shooting salad ingredients, and the residue gets all over the audience, including the Army's version of whipped cream.
It was awesome. I got covered in shaving cream.
You can't control the wind, and when I saw them throw up the Diet Coke bottle and saw them throw up the watermelon, I knew we were going to get something on our uniform, but you can't control that, but it makes for a great experience.
The airborne display closes out the demos, a demonstration put on by the 1st Battalion 507 Parachute Infantry, the Airborne School. Captain Andrew Wacko leads the crew.
I just think about if the contingencies. So if an emergency happens, what I have to do to my main parachute. If I had a flag on that jump, so what I need to do if the flag malfunctions, where I need to land, and then if I can't land in that area, where are some alternate areas I'm going to go through. So basically just going through contingencies in my head. It's another fun day at the office. I can't say it's another day at the office because we get to jump out of a UH-60 Blackhawk and land in front of a crowd and everybody's screaming at you. So
it's not just another day at the office, it's another fun day at the office for Captain Wacko. But it's also a day where the United States Army Marksmanship Unit shows what it means to be Army strong.
Back in the day when we were Be All You Can Be, I thought that was probably the best tagline ever. And then we became an Army of One, and once you understood it, it made a lot of sense, but a lot of people didn't understand it. And Army Strong, it's just the culmination of those.
Part of our mission is to support the Army's recruiting efforts. And we do that in a variety of ways. We showcase the very best of Army soldier skills to our nation's citizens.
And recruiting, in the case of the college-level competitors, means any of them could be qualified to enter as officers when they receive their degrees. So sending a lot of ordnance downrange may turn out to be a good investment in the future.